Lucky it's light, huh?
Yeah.
Hello goat lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats, and today we're going to get Dreamer to the vet and see what's going on with her. Alright guys, so we are pulling into the vet office right now. We're a little bit early, so we're going to get as much as we can as far as recording or filming it is concerned, but otherwise I will just update you guys once we know what's going on with Dreamer.
What'd Mom do to your beard, Dreamer?
Honey great. Right, definitely have more. I did feel it today, but are they still hard? They are hard. Okay.
Let's get the CMT and then try to figure out what's going on with the girl here.
Cool, she's doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You might have snapped a couple pictures.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it was a baby that I was like, I'm sure. And then he did say like blue cactus, and I was like, okay. Yes. It's a massive, very dense tissue. So I was hoping that it would be more fluidy, like an abscess that maybe I could get something out of. It doesn't really look like that. This tissue here, where there's kind of black and white and blah, 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 that's more normal tissue. That kind of circular thing is less normal.
Okay, so the vets just took a sample, or at least attempted to take a sample from the masses, and it's super thick, whatever it was. So one of the vets was able to pull just a tiny bit, kind of looked like pus out of one of the abscesses. So she's gonna go put it under the microscope and see what she can see. But until then, we're just gonna wait. It was really weird. I'm glad they're being really awesome with us actually, and letting me hover, if you will, so that I can learn. So the fact that I could not get any of that liquid out of her right side when I can feel it in there, and I can feel some things like kind of squishing back up, almost reminds me of the first time I tried to milk a goat, where you kind of cut off the teat, but until you learn to cut the teat off, it just kind of shoots back up into the udder, and it kind of reminded me of that, except I was milking properly, but it wasn't coming out, almost like the orifice is swollen. Just really, really weird. So just a couple little droplets, not what I expected at all. And again, the vets are super, super confused about what's going on right now too. So I guess it's a learning experience for all of us, including you guys. Just sorry that Dreamer and I are the ones that have to be the test dummies here on it, but we'll see.
Is this your safe spot? The only thing she recognizes when you
We treat mastitis generally. We treat it topically, so you're instilling ointment into the teeth. And that I think could work for part of it, like maybe that right side where we can feel that there's liquid in there and we got a little bit of it out. But I don't think it's going to be strong enough from that channel to penetrate into the other nodules, which I suppose are abscesses. Abscesses are very hard to treat, even with systemic antibiotics, so like an injection of antibiotic, because the nature of them is that they encapsulate and blood flow doesn't go into the abscess. But when you get an antibiotic, whether it's oral or injectable, you're reliant on the blood to go to the area to make abscess go away. So, to treat her, I would do both intramammary and systemic and see how she responds. I'm relatively concerned that she's not going to respond well because of how firm and encapsulated these abscesses are.
But the next option's worse, huh?
The the next option would be to remove the udder.
Okay guys, so we made it home finally. It has been quite a long day, an exhausting day, mentally, I suppose. But anyway, I'm not sure exactly in the footage everything we got, so I'm just gonna give you kind of the breakdown of what happened. So we get there, she checks her vitals, she checked her temperature, all of the good things, gave her a good fill down for any other lumps and things like that on the body. She was good to go. Super, super healthy goat right here. All but the udder, I know. So she went ahead and tried to get some fluid out of that side of the udder that I had mentioned I wasn't gonna mess with because the vets could need it. And it was really hard to get the fluid out. So even when she let me try, she just wanted me to feel it. It was like the teats were inflamed or something. So I don't know. But anyway, like hardly anything was coming out. You could feel the fluid in there, but it just was not coming out. And then she did an ultrasound, and on the ultrasound she could see the masses in there, obviously, and what she was hoping for is that they would be dark, because if they were dark circles, dark masses, then that would mean they're full of a fluid that she could extract something from and you know, obviously send it off to the lab. However, they were not black. They were all white masses in there, and so just indicating that they were solid. Now, I don't know the difference, to be honest. I'm not an expert on any of this in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not sure what the difference would have been if it was a pussy liquidy fluid or if it was what she got out of it, which was just a super, super thick, like pus-like fluid, and she could hardly get any out. So anyway, after the ultrasound, they did test 2 of the abscesses. They stuck a needle in there and tried to extract some of it, and she was able to get just enough that we could get it, get a culture and get it sent to the lab. So in part of the stuff that she was able to get out of a couple of those abscesses, she went and took it under the microscope there at the vet's office, and she was able to see a lot of bacteria. So she wasn't sure exactly which bacterias. There were the rod form and there was the circular form, but either way, there was a lot of it, she said. So that's getting sent off to the lab for further inspecting, further testing, and that way we can see exactly which type or types of bacteria that there are, because it sounds to me like there's more than one. And as for now, we do have her on some antibiotics. So she gave me Nuflor, which is an injectable, and that is to be given every 4 days. And so she gave me one other dose. She gave her one, which was not cool. She was super, super mad. Ivermectin burns, and this stuff was like ivermectin on steroids, because she was not happy with it. So thank goodness it's only every 4 days. And then she gave me some intramammary antibiotics called Today, and so that I have to do daily in both sides, 1 tube per side, daily. And she is not thinking that this is going to be a quick recovery, no matter what. But it could be 2 weeks or up to 2 weeks before we get anything back from the lab. It just depends on how much bacteria and how quickly it grows on the petri dish before they can tell, and to analyze it. So that makes perfect sense. And anyway, I just, you know, we don't have any other answers. We're still just kind of like, I don't know. So we did want to, the vet did want to start her on something, and she felt really confident that this was the right path, obviously, or she wouldn't have prescribed the Norflow, I don't know, the antibiotic. So that for now, this is our course of action. This is what we're going to be doing. So anyway, when the lab results come back, we might have to change the course of action. Maybe a different antibiotic. We don't know. But for now, she is on something. And we are hoping to see some improvement here within a week. So she did say that. If nothing is happening in a week, then you know, it might not be working, whatever we're doing for her. And her concern is that these abscesses are so hard, the antibiotics might not be able to penetrate them, and just giving further kind of making me feel like she's totally right is the fact that whatever is in those abscesses is very stuck in those abscesses, because she's not sick. It's not following through her body. You know, there's no other subclinical signs of illness here. So I don't know. It's a secluded thing right there in the udder, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. She's still super healthy. And I'm very grateful for that. But other than that, you guys, I have no answers. We're still just a wait and see what's happening. But we did take the first step, and the proper step, to get the answer. So that's it. We're home. Dreamer's glad to be home. And as far as contagion, sorry about that, guys. So as far as it being contagious, she said she really doesn't think it's going to be contagious, but obviously she couldn't give us that definitive answer without the bacteria, without knowing exactly what bacteria we're working with here. But she said if the fact that it's grown so quick in her udder, and is isolated to her udder, she feels that the other does that she was with, they would have something by now too if it was contagious. So we are still going to keep her separate from the rest of the herd just in case. And then, you know, once we get the culture back, hopefully we'll hear that it's not contagious and she can go back to living at least with the other girls and not be secluded. So that is the story, guys. That's the lowdown. That's all we know for now. So I will, of course, keep you all posted. Anything I hear, I'll let you guys know right away. And thank you all so much for all of your concern and all of your care. I know you guys love Dreamer just like I do. She's a pretty special goat around here. So anyway, that's it for now. You want to say bye, Dreamer? She's the She's had a rough day, this girl. Huh, but she was so good. All right, guys. Well, I will be talking to you soon. So thank you so much for watching.